Hello, I'm Czardus, and let's play Cities Skylines. Welcome back to my tutorial series. What I'm going to do today is give you a quick tutorial on how to have an easy and quick start. So we're on the Murky Coast, I believe, map that came with the campus DLC. And what I want to do is we have our highway here, and we are going to get a city started. So the first thing you need to do is you need to build a road. Just build a little segment and delete it, and then that unlocks other roads. And what we're going to do then is we're going to look at our map and decide where we want things to go. So the first thing we want to do is we want to make sure that we have space for industry, commercial, and residential. And you can see our demand down here. We have residential, no commercial demand, and no industrial demand right yet. But we do want to plan for them. And what I want to do is I want to have a little bit of industry by the highway so that the trucks can get on and off and not have to go through the city. So we're going to have a little bit of stuff in here. And in fact, pretty soon we could probably get some forestry industry in here if that is what we wanted to do. And we'll get the residential and commercial back in here. So what we'll do is we're going to bring just a one-way road coming off of the highway for a little bit, like that. And one thing that you could do is you could have a one-way road, like you could just keep this all the way through. But what I like to do, especially because we can do this 4-lane avenue road, we're going to grab that. We're going to just try and find a spot in between. You can see the lines pop up. We're going to grab that and just kind of eyeball it like that. And then we can come back to our one-way roads and just go like that. And that gives us a nice little start. Then we're going to bring this road down a little bit. And this is going to be our main street. And what I want to do is I want to get it down here. So we're going to bring this road in like that. And then we can do a curved road. And we could just come all the way out here. We're too far away to get any nice things, but we could have one solid curve. Or what I like to do is use the freeform. We're going to just kind of curve through here a little bit, and then we'll switch back to the regular curve in order to get that road guideline to pop up. And we want this side to say 180 degrees. And then we want to grab a click there, get in there, and then we have a nice, cool looking curve in there. Now, I have the day-night cycle turned on, so I'm going to turn that off real quick, just so that we can see a little bit better. In here, we want to have a little bit for residential, and we're just going to do a grid. Although I'm going to look at the topographic lines. Oh, we can't do that yet. That's right, we haven't unlocked that yet. So what we're going to do is we'll bring this in like that. And in fact, I do want this to come off this way because eventually the city can spread that way. But what we'll do is we'll have roads coming down this way, like that. And then, say about here, we'll have a road coming this way. And we'll bring this down a little bit further here. And what you could do, and what I often recommend for an even easier start, and I don't know why I wasn't doing this just a moment ago, but you can use the gravel road instead of the paved road. And that will cost about half as much. So you can save a little bit of money there, and we'll do that the rest of the way out here. And then later you can upgrade it a bit. We'll bring this just a little bit further here and do that. So now we have a small grid. Let's take these out so we're not paying for them. And that is going to be our residential. Then you also need to get electricity. Now your most efficient electricity is going to be, or the cheapest to start is going to be that coal power plant. And so what we're going to do is we're going to bring another road off, say right here. That can go that way and this way. We'll bring it in here. Then we can get a power plant right there. And I like to put that by the highway because it needs to have coal delivered to it. Then we're going to need to get power down over here. So we're just going to bring power line directly this way. We have to get across that highway, or that little road though. And then this will come down here. And the next thing we need to consider, bring this here, is our water. So water intake, you're going to want to have it be upriver. And you can have either a water tower, which can go on land anywhere, but you want to avoid any ground pollution. Or you can do a water pumping station. And the water flow, you can tell by the arrows in the on the water. The water flow on this map is pretty strong. So we're going to go ahead and just put a pumping station there. And we'll get a drain pipe downstream as far as we can go. And we'll get that. Actually, we'll just put it over here so that we're closer to the power line. Then we want to connect. We want to get some water pipes over here to our residential area. Bring this down here and like that. Every other road should be fine for now. Bring this in and connect to that. And then we just need to get both of those connected to the power. So bring power over this way, like that. We'll bring power down this way. And that should get us started. So now we can come in here and add some residential zoning. They're already moving in, and hopefully, yep, we're close enough to the power that they are grabbing that. We can just get some of these going here, and then pretty soon we'll get a grant for more money, which is key because right now we are losing money. But as we get more people and more tax revenue, that will go up. Okay, now we're at a point where we need some commercial zoning. And what we're going to do is we're just going to get a little bit in here because we are kind of close on the money point here. But we also, I think we're going to hit this pretty quick. And then we should get a grant because I believe we get a grant at that spot, or maybe not. That doesn't say when we do. I think we do at the next one. And now we have industrial demand, and we don't have any more money. So what we're going to do is just kind of tuck it in here. But we don't have water out here, so that is going to be a little bit of an issue. Let's go ahead and just get some in here and hope that we can get enough people moving in before we have the zoning filled in. Hopefully we'll get people moving in before the water becomes an issue over here. Okay, so there we are. We have reached that first milestone. Now we have some things we're going to have to worry about, like landfill. And actually, that's the only thing that we have to worry about right now. The other stuff is not necessary until you have more money. But the first thing we need to do, we did get a grant there. We need to get water out over to our industry. We'll just do that real quick. And then we need to get a couple more roads in here so that we can have a little bit of a bigger industrial area. And we'll bring this in like that. And probably come out in this direction too. And then I want to put a landfill back in here. Like that. So now we can add a little bit more zoning in this area for industry. Speed the game back up and let that run. All right, so now we are going to add a little bit more space for residential and get a little bit more in here because we are in need of just a little bit more to hit that next milestone. So we're going to just bring it like this. And then get a little bit more water. And just fill this in with residential. And that should be that. I mean, we should hit that milestone very soon. And I hope this will help you get your city started. So really all you have to worry, in summary here, is, there we go. We've got that milestone. You need to get a little bit of industry, preferably by the highway. You need to get a nice block of residential. It really doesn't need to be that big. You need a very small amount of space for commercial. And then you need power, sewage, water intake, and then that can get you started. And then once you hit that very first milestone, you have to get a landfill in place. Those are really the only things you have to worry about to get your city started. And now we have a little bit more money coming in, we have another grant, and we can take this wherever we want to go. So that is it.